It is 8:41 on the Saturday before Thanksgiving, so we're a week till the holiday, which may be, for many families, the first big gathering together since the world changed so suddenly with the start of the pandemic. That just may amp the stress level up a little bit. Perfect topic for a chat with Dr. Danielle Henderson, clinical psychologist with IU Health. Thanks for being with us today. I think probably we ought to jump in just acknowledging Thanksgiving can be pretty stressful in a perfect year, right?
Yes, that's very, very true. A lot of nervousness or anxiety about the holiday itself, the pressure to have everything be perfect and have everybody feel satisfied with all the food and fixings and everything, and then you throw everything else on top of it this year.
Let's talk about the everything else. I can remember when I was this tall knowing that there were like political divides at the Thanksgiving table. So that's nothing new, though you add to it different opinions on health and things like that. It all seems to be much more intimidating. When you think about that, what are some of the ingredients to that recipe?
Sure. So no, like you said, we're coming in with differing opinions anyway, and now, over the last couple of years, it feels like we're maybe even more divided. And I think maybe throw on top of it, last year we maybe didn't see our family. So in some ways we might be out of practice talking about some of these things or avoiding talking about some of these things, and now we might have to do that this year, and it might be a little nerve-wracking.
And then over the head of everything, we're still in a pandemic.
Yes. That's very true. So some people might not feel comfortable attending any sort of gathering, regardless of how they've been caring for their health. And so that is something else that people might be considering. What
is it about Thanksgiving that the host, whoever accepts that role, and thank them, please, when you do go, wants it to be perfect? Of all the holidays, seems to be the one that you just so badly want everything to go exactly right.
Yes, that's a good question. I think some of it is just, maybe family pressures, maybe, there's been someone in your family who always seemed like the perfect host, and now you've taken on those responsibilities and you're doing your best to emulate that person. And then, media, we see things in movies where everything always seems so perfect around the Thanksgiving table, and we want that for ourselves too.
So although some of the best movies are the ones where it all goes so terribly wrong.
Yes.
And in the end we find out that was all right anyway. So the conversations are going to happen.
Yes.
Grandpa thinks this, and grandma thinks this, and uncle thinks this, and son thinks this. How do you prepare for those conversations? Should you avoid them? What's your advice?
No, I think preparing in advance is always, I think, a good option. And so maybe having conversations with people, having a Zoom call or something with the family to say, we're getting together, I recognize these things may come up, how can we handle this? Or also, should we even talk about this? I want to make sure we have a good time together. And if things come up in the moment, try to maybe make light of it, and have like a safe word for when you're going to pivot out of the conversation, or say, oop, we're getting into the red zone, I'm going to in the conversation.
All right,
now.
so I'm going to air my laundry out here, and I should have asked the doc about this in the commercial break, but let's throw it out there. So we host, last year, we said the playroom is the conversation room for any political discussion.
Okay.
Nobody went into the playroom, which I was thrilled by, but I don't know if that was just, an avoidance maneuver that isn't beneficial, or is that kind of a thing an okay thing?
I think that's an okay thing. If we're going to have these certain conversations, while you're in our space, we're trying to keep it safe for everyone. If you want to discuss that, here is the place where you can do that. No, I like that idea.
With anxiety inevitable, a quick word about how to manage that, maybe that day and any day.
No, sure. So again, I think prepping in advance, so thinking about what emotions are coming up for me with this holiday: anxiety, nervousness, fear, anger, whatever it is, and how can I make a plan beforehand? I love music, so is there music you can play? Are there movies you can watch? And then how can I decompress after the day? And then also not forgetting to eat on these days. Sometimes when you're the host or hostess, you might forget. And then your water intake, those are like small things that we might forget, and your sleep. That's important too.
Your physical health directly leads to mental health in some cases. Dr. Henderson, thanks for your time. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thank you. Same to you.
I appreciate that very much.